We want to say thanks to our good friends at Sideline Interactive Indoor Score Tables and Video Boards. Go to their website. You can schedule a live demo to see their products in action. You've heard me say before, probably the best purchase I ever made was our Sideline Interactive Indoor Score Table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and schedule that demo today. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but as an AD, I made sure our school was a Huddle school. And our coaches, all of our coaches, just loved the Huddle platform. Student athletes loved it. Parents loved it. You really got to check it out. Go to huddle.com. Join the 8 million users. Turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to thank Beacon Creative Wall of Fame. Vital Signs Wall of Fame has been helping schools share their legacy for the past decade. But now Beacon Creative is an actual content creator. They're going to take your content, your student information, and create some compelling stories that you can share on any digital platform at your school, and you don't have to lift a finger. I want you to email John Townsend, that's John, at beaconwalloffame.com. You're going to be glad you did. Let's say thanks to Hometown. Hometown continues to be the leader for schools and organizations with their resources that include digital ticketing. What a shock. But how about athletic website construction, fee-free fundraising, and a whole lot more? Whether you're an AD, a principal, or a coach, Hometown is going to help you save time. It's going to help you raise more money, and it's going to help you bring your community together. Go to hometown.com to get started. And as always, don't forget to mention the podcast. Let's also say thank you to Gipper. Gipper is going to help you share your athletic department's success, all the great things you're doing, with your community via social media. Gipper is used and trusted by over 20,000 schools and programs. It's professional graphic design made easy. Go to Gipper.com. Let their team help you take your program from good to great. That's Gipper.com. Home Campus is a platform you're going to use every day, whether it's scheduling, rosters, results, facilities. I mean, their eligibility and clearance platform alone is a game changer. Go to homecampus.com to see all the great things they can do for your program, all the time that they can give back to you. That's homecampus.com. Ohio University's online master's in athletic administration is probably one of the best in the country. My assistant AD, along with thousands of others, got his master's through the Ohio program, and while they were earning their degree, they also completed 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University's online master's in athletic administration. Let's also say thanks to Snap Raise. You know, if you've ever spent weeks and weeks with a fundraiser and come away disappointed, those days are gone. Go to snapraise.com. We used it at our school with our teams and it had great success, and so will you. I'm telling you, it works. Check out all of their other great features, but if you're looking for a fundraiser, you just found it, and it's Snap Raise. And let's say thanks to Athletic Surveys. At my school, we use surveys for just about everything, for student athletes, for coaches. We also used them for parents. And here's the cool thing. The information that came back on these surveys, incredibly positive. We still got to hear from the squeaky wheel parents, but having all that positive data, if you ever sit down with your principal, you've got that to share. If you ever sit down with your school board, you've got that to share. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey just for your school that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. It's athleticsurveys.com. And as always, please mention the podcast. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. It's December 31st. We're excited to have one of our very favorite guests on. Our guest today is Suzanne Vick. If you're new to the podcast, go back into our archives, listen to her interview. She helped us get the podcast going a few years ago, and she's been back, I'm going to say, more than any other guest. So I think she might be the record holder for Wednesday Wisdom. Suzanne is a certified Master Athletic Administrator. She's the Director of Athletics, I dare say the award-winning Director of Athletics at Curtis High School, and that's in University Place, I think is the community, up in the great state of Washington, a little bit close to my stomping grounds. Tremendous background as a college athlete, a successful teacher and coach and AD, active at the state level, presents nationally. Suzanne Vick, welcome back again to the podcast.
Hey, Jake, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me. I always love just connecting with you, and it's going to be great seeing you at the national conference, and looking forward to a great podcast.
Oh, no, absolutely. I love to tell the story. You probably cringe when I do. Oh, yeah, Suzanne and I met online, back during the COVID NADC, virtual conference. But
Yes.
It's become a great friendship.
One of the COVID blessings.
Suzanne, a couple of things that have kind of been on my mind. National conference was great. It was great to see you, great to reconnect with everybody. Now, 2026 is tomorrow as we record. I'm curious. I still remember when we first met. You had never been to a national conference, and 5 years later, you're on committees, you're presenting. So you really reached out and you grew with this idea of professional development. Not that you weren't doing it before, but you can see, anybody that looks at your resume can see that you are continuing to grow. You are that lifelong learner. What are some things that you picked up in this previous year, 2025, that you can share with our listeners? And what's something that I know you are big on being intentional? What's something that's on your list to learn or do better at in 2026?
I love that. I am intentional. I would say that that's a quality that I strive to be. Sometimes I have to hold myself back. One of my goals this year has actually been to stay present and care for my space, because sometimes you can get out there and you can give too much or volunteer too much or be part of too many committees. And so pulling back just a little bit to make sure that I'm really caring for the space that I'm in, which is great. But last year's goal was to complete my QPA, quality program assessment, and did that. And although it was a lift, it was one of the best professional developments that I've ever done. So anybody that's out there interested in the QPA, please feel free to reach out. What it did, or what it does, is it gives you a blueprint, and it also shows your what you're lacking. Like, it was obvious there were some things that I was lacking, and I was able to create those things and implement processes and put them in place. To have all these ducks in a row. For me, I just wanted to make sure that when I'm done with this job, that I leave this place better than I found it. And because our job is such one of isolation, is that I wanted to be able to leave a playbook for somebody. Like, here's our communication documents, here's our financial documents, everything in a place. And there's 10 different components. You do a component a month. Again, it is a lift. But it was well worth the time, and I'm really thankful that I did it.
Now, there's a lot of ways that a school can achieve, I don't want to say a lot, but there's different paths that a school can use to achieve the Quality Program Award. I believe you were in the QPA cohort. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And as you said, each month, you're working within the cohort on your own school, but you've got that support of the cohort to do that particular component of the project. As you came to, were there any months where you met and they say, okay, this is what we're going to work on this month, and you're just going, holy mackerel, we have nothing. We've got zero in that area. How was that, and how did you overcome that? Not just in that month, but for the rest of the cohort?
Yeah, there were a few things. One, really clear communication documents. I was clear in my messaging verbally, but I was not clear with a document I could hand to coaches and parents and kids. So I was able to create a communication document. Here's your expectations. You can expect this from your coaches. We expect this from parents and athletes. Here's the process in place. So that was one that was really helpful. I noticed this amongst our cohort, private schools, international schools. A lot of times board policy is what they're asking for. And a lot of people don't have the board policy that fits into that narrative. We only, in our district, only have essential board policy. So a lot of what we do is created based on what I've done and what I've created and what I've messaged. So I had to create some things that were policy, but not board policy. But they're really good, and the cohort leaders and mentors are really good about, well, yeah, you could do this or you could do that. It definitely stretched me. And I'm actually going to take everything and put it into a binder 1 through 10 so that if for some reason I lose my internet or the ability to grab those documents, that it's actually there in a print document for somebody to see. And then I think moving forward, heading into 2026 is really helping our athletes and our parents realize that our goal is to win, but it's not our purpose. Our purpose is to build great humans through sports. And of course we want to win. Winning is fun, and we're going to prepare and plan to win, but it's not the purpose of what we do. And I'm taking the Inside Out Leadership course, and it has really messaged that phrase. And then the other phrase is that we prepare the people for the path, not the path for the people. So I'm going to spend a lot of time really diving into that, creating stories around that, and helping kids and parents know that they are prepared for the path and that we don't need to rescue kids. We're hosting a women's event with our Girls and Women in Sports group. It's on February 3rd at Curtis High School. And our theme, we just met this morning, is the path. And really messaging to our kids, you're prepared for this path. Messaging to our parents, you don't have to create the path. You don't have to bulldoze the path. The path is part of the journey, and helping kids get back to the path, not rescuing them and straightening the path, are really important components.
Oh yeah, and again, your conference, I know you've done that before. That's great. You mentioned the bulldozer. I'm still old enough. I'm much older than you. When I graduated from college and I'm a young teacher, there was this new term that they were talking about, helicopter parents. That they weren't interfering. They were just kind of hovering. The parents at practice. It was just a foreign concept to me. 1980, a fresh-faced college graduate. And then a few years later, maybe in the 90s, you had the lawnmower parents. So now the parents were coming in and they just, well, can't you make it a little bit easier for my kid? Why does it have to be so hard? They're trying to, trim off some of the challenge. And as you know, you were a college athlete and coach, that's how kids get better, through those challenges. And now, you've said it, we've gone from lawnmower parents to bulldozer parents, that they want to completely remove any chance of failure for their precious little child. Again, not understanding that's how we get better. We try, we fail, we try again, we succeed. It gets a little bit harder, we fail again. That's life, that's athletics. And oh, by the way, we have these people that are usually pretty highly trained called coaches, that they're helping your child get better. Yeah, the bulldozer parent, you got to love that.
Well, and we acknowledge we're not perfect. Like, I have 27 programs and 125 coaches. We're not going to be perfect. We'd love to be, but that's just not reality. When I was creating this this communication document, what I share inside there's like, we're not talking about safety concerns. When someone is not safe, I want to know it immediately. But when it's something that just hurts, or the coach talked to me and he looked at me a certain way, or I'm not playing, those are the times where we want, like, let's go through this process. Let's teach our children how to talk to the coaches. How do you bring an advocate with you if you need somebody with you? And then if that doesn't go the way you're hoping, then the next step is to bring the parents and the kid and talk with the coaches. But so often, I'm finding that not only am I getting trumped, sometimes my boss is getting trumped. And so they're not going to the coach, they're going all the way to the district office. And it's not helpful. And again, when it's a safety concern, like we're going to talk to anybody anytime, regardless. We do that. But when it's a safety concern, we want to know immediately. But oftentimes we're not talking about a safety concern. We're talking about that kid hurt, that coach hurt my kid's feelings. And, you know, so often, and I'm a parent, I have 3 that were student athletes, one still playing in college. And sometimes I want to save him. I want to rescue him. I want to make it so he doesn't have to feel. And I know logically, sitting in my desk here in this office, but also as a parent, that's not good for him. I don't want him living in my basement. I just don't. Like, I love my children to pieces, but it's not good for them to be dependent on me. They have to know how to navigate. And one of the things that, like, my path is sideways, and it has taken me all over the place. And college was hard, and early adulting was hard. And I lived my first year in my parents' motorhome in a place where there was no phone, no computer, no internet, no nothing. That was hard. I would pull the bed down over the driver's side and I would cry myself to sleep because it was hard. But you know what my parents didn't do is they didn't rescue me. They encouraged me. They said, hey, come over for dinner once in a while, but they didn't rescue me. And I think because we love so deeply that we think rescuing is the way to show that. And rescuing is detrimental to our children. I do believe that I want to be a hammock for my kids, that if something earth-shaking were to fall, that there would be a safety net. But I don't want to be the rescuer for them. I want them to navigate through that. And I think if we could let kids feel and just sit with it, don't solve it for them, just sit with it, and then help them by asking them questions. Well, what do you think you can do? What should you do? Encourage them. You are built for this. You're prepared for this. Everything that you've done up until this moment has prepared you for this. Don't let them quit. We had a situation where a kiddo didn't make the team he wanted, comes in the next day and said, hey, coach, I'm going to go work on my game. You're going to go work on your game by not playing the game you say you're going to go work on because he didn't make the team he wanted. Like, and some parent probably said, okay, versus no, you started, you're going to finish. This rescue, like, and letting kids know that you believe in them. I say that all the time. I believe in you. I believe in you. You can do this. And, you know, have you ever bowled?
Oh, yeah.
I'm bowling. So, you know, when my kids were little, you'd put the bumpers up and you could use a little dinosaur to roll the ball off. You always hit pins. You always hit pins when the bumpers were up and you use the dinosaur. That's not real life. And I think to some degree, that's what we're allowing our kids to be part of. And it's not good for them. They've got to be over here and know I can get myself to this path. And I have a support system that can encourage me to get back on the path. And, you know, we have a natural tendency to rescue. And I want these kids to know you have what it takes. You are built for this. In my office on a sign, it's big as day, says, I'm unbreakable. I'm unstoppable. I can do hard things. I have little cards that I actually hand to kids. See them having a bad day. You are unbreakable. You're unstoppable. You can do hard things. Not somebody coming in and saving them. They can do hard things. Our kids can do this. But we will all go to the path of least resistance. If someone is going to save us and rescue us, we're going to let them.
Yeah,
Um,
the saving thing, again, parents love their kids. We all love our kids,
yeah,
no matter how old they get, they're still going to be your kids. But um, nowadays, and I started to notice this maybe 20 some years ago. I'm just kind of dating myself. So I was still coaching, I was still in AD, but so many of the parents at the time, uh, they had never played high school sports. And that just wasn't the case, in that previous generation. They had played and they knew those lessons that were going to help their kids get better. And this current generation, yeah, there's some parents that played sports, but I think there's just so many of them, they just don't get it. And they have good intentions. They love their kids, but they just don't understand, hey, this is what they need. This is how they get better, not just in sports. Pick your sport, basketball, soccer, volleyball, whatever it is. It's the struggle that makes you or allows you to get better.
absolutely. It is. And it is in the growth and the hard times where we mature and can handle the next thing. My experience, my first year of teaching, living in my parents' motorhome, that was hard. And then later, like my before my first child was born, I had a miscarriage. And boy, that was hard. But nobody was able to save me from that. And I got to walk through it and work through it because of the experiences I've had in the past. And there have been other things that are really hard. And I'm able to get myself to the path because of the experiences I've had. And that would be the message I would want to convey, like encourage and help, believe in, but don't rescue. Let them feel and then go do, because when they do, they're going to be that much more empowered and that much more empowered. And they're going to be stronger and stronger and stronger till the point where they actually are unstoppable and unbreakable, and they can do hard things.
All right. That's got to be your catchphrase. I love that. Okay. Let's go and end on that one. Suzanne, again, you've done such a great job with your program and you're always willing to give. If one of our listeners wanted to find out more, pick your brain on this topic or any other topic, and listeners, you have a great resource here. What's the best way that they can connect with Suzanne Vick?
I hate to even say this, but I'm going to say email. I shut my email down yesterday with 12 and I have 128 right now. So, but it is really the easiest way to get a hold of me is probably through email. And that is at S as in Sam, Vick, V as in Victor, ICK at UPSD83.org. And the UPSD stands for University Place School District. 83.org. So svic at upsd83.org is probably the easiest way. Happy to schedule a meeting, happy to get on a video call. Anybody that needs help. This job's a lot. And you also, every one of you can do hard things. So that's it. That's all I got.
And Suzanne's information
Happy 2026.
Exactly. Suzanne's information is also on the NIAAA membership portal. She's on social media, does a great job promoting the Vikings. Suzanne, thanks again for sharing. Hope you have a great New Year's Eve and New Year. And looking forward to, hopefully, I'm hoping that Russ and I think it's Milton are going to invite me up to be one of the speakers at the Washington Conference this year.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Okay.
That would be amazing. Thanks, Jake. Happy New Year.
Thank you. For our listeners, Happy New Year to you. And thanks again for listening. Just a reminder, we upload the Zoom recordings of every interview to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We do Wednesday Wisdom just about every week and just about every day. We try to share stories and best practices from the world of athletics. So please come back and join us again on the next episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Hey, before you go, we want to make sure you get a chance to go and visit our many, many sponsors. I'll get it out. These are all companies I used as an athletic director. They're all great companies. I really recommend them highly to you. Beacon Creative, that's Vital Signs Wall of Fame, now Beacon Vital Signs. Gipper, go to gipper.com. SnapRaise, snapraise.com. Huddle, you'll find them at huddle.com. Athletic Surveys, guess what? Athleticsurveys.com. Sideline Interactive, sidelineinteractive.com. Home Campus, homecampus.com. Hometown, guess what? Hometown.com and Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.